I still think DSP's biggest contribution to all of the internet is when he jerked off on stream, though. That shit is actually iconic. He not only jerked off, he blew a load and then immediately just started streaming. It was so fucking... that was like an actual top G maneuver, unironically. That guy goes so hard for that.
I want to take a look at that video today. I also just want to take a look at some clips from DSP the past few days. I did upload basically a bunch of clips from his marathon, and I want to go through one of those, specifically the Factorio rage quit, right? Before we watch the MoistCr1tikal clip again, for those who haven't seen, let's just take a look at some of these recent DSP clips.
At all. With the gamepad, I had to use the mouse. The second person, so this is how you fire. Okay, the second. Now it says it needs fuel.
So I clipped these two. I don't know if DSP was playing a character, but I genuinely think that he was falling asleep here. He was clearly bored, talks about how tired he gets after he eats, between the booze, whatever other conditions he's got going on. He's literally falling asleep playing this game during his marathon. And you'll see it happen a couple times too. It happened during Onimusha. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So, all right, let's get to the rage quit.
Rotate it once it's selected. What do you mean? I did this. Oh, there we go. Okay.
So he's looking at chat right now, and from what we all can see, someone said, "Is that not the furnace?" Someone else said, "Everything needs fuel." So people are commenting, you know, it may not be a lot of people, but he's going to go on here and say that nobody's paying attention, nobody's watching, but this is what Phil does. The same thing when he says, people are telling me this, people are telling me that. He's full of shit. I mean, you could tell, you can clearly see that people are joking. Let's get some logistics. This game is about logistics. So he's looking for any excuse to really quit this game. I don't think money's been really pouring in during this game. It's not the type of game that can keep someone like DSP's brain stimulated enough, you know? Especially after a few drinks, he's not going to sit here and want to learn a game about logistics. He wants to press the X button and slash shit over and over and over.
Literally no one on stream on either side, YouTube or Kick, is paying any attention to this game at all. Should I just turn it off? Most of the chat was trolls today, just trolling and saying stupid shit and sock accounts, you know? I've been playing for 16 minutes. Literally no one has made a comment. No one has tagged me in chat. No one is paying attention. Fuck this. It's so stupid.
Why do people have to constantly be tagging you in chat when you're playing a game? People are talking to each other. Why do they have to talk to you and tag you in chat to show interest? I think this is really about support, but he doesn't want to drop every game due to support, especially during a marathon. It would probably look bad being like, guys, I'm not getting any support during this game. So he's going to use the audience as an excuse. This isn't a game for his audience. He'll use it on Monster Hunter the next day.
Did you guys nominate games that you didn't care about? You nominated and voted the game. I'm just playing the tutorial. No one's talking about the game whatsoever. Literally, it's a complete waste of time. Everyone's paying no attention at all. So why am I playing the game?
I can answer that, Phil. You're playing the game because it was voted in viewer's choice. Whether it was trolls or not, it was voted in, and you accepted it as a game that you're going to play. Look, you have the demo installed. Factorio is a great game. It might not be the most entertaining stream game to play, but that's where the entertainment lies less on the game itself and more on the streamer to keep everybody entertained while he's playing it. And not to mention the fact that you're playing a top-down strategy game with a controller. Like, that's just foolish. Because he has neck pain that halfway through the stream switched to his shoulder. In the beginning of the stream, he's holding his neck. My neck hurts, my neck hurts. After a few shots, suddenly, oh, my shoulder hurts. And then it's, oh, my shoulder, my neck hurt. He can't keep his story straight. And what else doesn't make any sense is the fact that he's put off playing Call of Duty because Call of Duty's got to use mouse and keyboard. And I think he decided to play Street Fighter or something over Call of Duty. You know, my neck and my shoulder hurt because I'm going to be using mouse and keyboard. Well, you're doing pretty much the same thing with a fighting stick. You know, it's on your lap. In fact, your posture is probably worse playing with a fighting stick than it would be with a mouse and keyboard. And he's sitting there finding excuses not to play that game. When you've been playing Call of Duty for like 10 years with a controller, why wouldn't you just plug in a controller to your computer and play Call of Duty tonight on a controller, right? Like, everything he says doesn't make any sense.
On to something else. Hopefully someone will pay attention to. All right. I swear, people nominated games for this marathon just to fucking make the marathon suck ass. But I think when we hit 50 goals, I'm just going to pick the games myself. Just like we do with Mega Man. You know, so with Mega Man, it worked. Because I picked games that were interesting, and I was drunk, and I was trying to beat Mega Man drunk, and it was fun. So next time I'm just not going to.
I'm pretty sure that was a boring marathon, and you were tired, if I recall. I don't know. I couldn't watch that one. I don't know how I watched some of this one, but it's pretty pathetic to hype up 100 goals. What was it? $15,000 that people donated you over the past couple months, to sit there and shit on them and turn around and say, next time, I'm just going to choose the game. The viewers don't have a choice here. What's the point of a viewer's choice marathon when you're going to do everything because nobody's paying attention during the first 15 minutes while you're playing a tutorial of a game? Something else that I'm also thinking about is he clearly has the demo here. He's going to go into it and talk about how he didn't buy the game on purpose because he's not a dumbass. And he knew this was a bunch of trolls that were trying to get him to buy the game. But also, he was going to probably reach a point where he hit the end of the demo and he couldn't progress any further. And then he would have had to buy the game to keep playing. So, I don't know. Maybe it was just an out. Something to think about.
Pick shitty games. I'm going to pick stuff that I know people will watch. I played you guys. All right, what a waste of time. All right, well.
The only time you wasted was your audience's. I mean, you were going to be here regardless, playing nothing. For a marathon that was 10.5 hours long, it seemed like he played 4 hours of games. I mean, actually, I want to look that up. You had to sit there through 2.5 hours of his boring podcast, probably about tech issues and money and goals, and sit there, look through an Arby's menu. So 2.5 hours into this, he plays almost an hour and a half of chess. A whole bunch of bullshit. Wow, what is he doing? Oh yeah, he had the tech issues and we watched him eat food on stream. So he ended chess around 3 hours and 58 minutes into the stream and doesn't play another game of the viewer's choice marathon until 6 hours into the stream. It's like 2 hours of downtime of him just sitting there and eating and probably begging for tips. Then he plays Lollipop Chainsaw for roughly an hour. It's about an hour. It's like exactly an hour he plays Lollipop Chainsaw. Then he plays Factorio for like 15 minutes. Then he plays Onimusha at 8 hours and 12 minutes in. He plays it until about 9 hours and 22 minutes in. So it was like there was hardly any video games in this marathon. It was just like a pathetic beg. I mean, you can go and look at my last video. I pretty much just clipped all these begging moments out of it. I didn't even do the whole marathon. I started clipping all this after chess because I'd already made a video before and kind of included some stuff from chess. I just couldn't go back and watch that shit again and clip it. My video came to like an hour and 6 minutes of just little mini 30 to 50 second clips of him spazzing out and asking for more tips and whatnot.
We've got WWE 2K24 and we've got Onimusha. I've heard a lot about Onimusha, that it's a great game and that I should check it out, and I feel like I want to.
He wanted to play Onimusha over WWE. He really wanted to play Onimusha for what seemed like the entire stream. He kept bringing up, I hear good things about this, guys. Like, he wanted to play this game over the others, but I think the chat was kind of forcing his hand to try the others first because they were winning in polls and stuff like that. But at one point, after or around the time he was going to finish Onimusha, and I think even before this, everybody was trying to get him to play WWE. Jade told him to play WWE. Then his entire YouTube chat behind Jade and even Kick chat was saying play WWE for Jade. He completely ignored it. There was one point in his stream where somebody was like, everyone type 1 if you want to see DSP play WWE for Jade. And like the chat just filled up with ones and he didn't even acknowledge it. Well, you know, he saw it, but that's how DSP is. So that was this, you know, he got mad. He's like, that's why I didn't buy it, because I'm not a dumbass. I knew that people were trolling. It's clear that this wasn't DSP's type of game. I don't know if he just doesn't have the brain capacity to play a real-time strategy game. I mean, considering he compared it to like Minecraft and Age of Empires, which are completely different games from each other. Never mind this game. So that was that. Then we had the Monster Hunter Wilds. Now I'm picking up. He's already kind of gone off on a little tangent here, but I couldn't be bothered to sit through the whole thing. Essentially what he's saying is people are saying the game's boring. Nobody's interested in the game. He's blaming his audience, saying they're not interested in it. He thinks it's a good game, but his audience doesn't like it. He's tried playing them before. People didn't like it. You know, this means that people didn't support enough.
Like the idea. Here, I'm gonna start recording and we'll talk a little bit, okay? Hello everyone. So if you're wondering what's going on, here's what's going on, okay? And this is real talk between me and my audience here, between people on stream and also people who are watching this on demand. So for those who don't know the history, okay, many years ago when Monster Hunter World was coming out, there was a beta, just like this beta that I'm playing of Monster Hunter Wilds, okay? I played the beta. I played it co-op, actually, at that point. It wasn't just me playing it solo. I actually played it co-op with a couple of my moderators and viewers, and I played it for about an hour, hour and a half. What happened was everyone in chat was complaining the game was incredibly boring. They didn't like it because it was just too repetitive, and they didn't want to see me play it any further. In particular, no one was contributing to the stream either.
I just want to point something out. You know the problem is you when your own chat is making a mockery of you. I mean, we all know Kick Chat always does that, you know, shareholder meeting at the bottom there. But even on YouTube, you see Monster Hunter just isn't for our curated audience. You're a beta. Old man with his stories, we know this. Yeah, do a poll. Because people know you're so greedy.
And so far, I'm having a good time with the game mechanics, you know, having one ranged and one melee weapon. I like that variety. You can swap between two on the fly. The controls are responsive. My one complaint is that it's incredibly busy. The UI having 2-3 bars in the upper left, the map in the bottom left, and shit, I don't even know what that stuff is in the bottom left-hand corner, if that's like a day-to-night cycle or something. In the bottom right, that's way too many menus. It's like 3 different things for your ammo, then you've got your items you're selecting, then you've got other things you're selecting for this glaive thing or whatever it is. And at any time in the upper right, it gives you 17 other things too, all right?
He's complaining about the UI at the top right. It just shows the controls, like these are things that you can currently do. You can switch your weapon. But it's like he hasn't even been bothered to actually read the stuff at the top right. He's just complaining that there's a bunch of stuff on the UI and it's overwhelming his brain, who can't handle words on the screen because there's just too much. Spend 5 minutes to look at the menu and you'll understand everything. I mean, I don't really play Monster Hunter, but I know what all these things are because I've played Monster Hunter World, and it took me probably 5 minutes to understand the menu. He doesn't understand the minimap, the stuff on the minimap. I'm pretty sure he skipped through the tutorial. I can understand why people are calling the game boring because it's the way that DSP's playing. He's using a ranged weapon, which from my understanding is probably one of the most boring weapons to watch somebody play with. And he's sitting there from afar, shooting the shell of a boss, doing 1 damage over and over, while he gets killed and uses up all his team's lives. Like, the only fun gameplay that people are getting to watch is him just getting rolled for being horrible at the game and not taking 5 seconds to learn the game.
So that's the one complaint that I have about it at all right, is that it's a little busy of a UI, and I feel like it would take me a little bit, probably a few hours, to sit down and really learn the UI. But outside of that,
Few hours?
I just had fun with the first hour and a half. So I took a break and I asked my audience live, you know, what do you think? Are you enjoying it, etc.? They are completely split. Some people are saying they like it, keep playing it for the rest of the stream, and others are like, this is incredibly boring, stop playing it, all right? So I said, well, that's all well and good, but we only have an hour left on my stream. So if you're liking Monster Hunter and you want to see me keep playing it and maybe even play the real game, is anyone going to support the stream? And I got...
Okay. Couple things I want to say. You got half your audience that likes the game and half that hate it. You're going to have that with every game. You're going to have people that love fighting games, that love wrestling games. Then you're going to have people that love first-person shooters like Call of Duty, and they're not going to like the same games. That's just what it is. I mean, if you want your audience to love all the same things, you're having an unrealistic expectation. And if you want those people to stay around, then you need to be entertaining somehow while you're playing the game. The other thing I want to mention is he's coming back off of a stream. He was off Saturday, but the day before was a marathon stream where he made almost $900. He made good money that day. Then you talk about the day before the marathon, he made another like $600. So he's coming back from these money highs, having like crazy amounts of support the past few streams, to $78, and he's rip shit about it. He's so mad that where's the support? Where are these same people who were supporting me the past few days? Why don't you guys like the game? Why aren't you supporting if you like the game? As if the average person can just pull hundreds of dollars out of their back pocket and throw it at Phil. Like, most of these people work and they have to pay rent and they have to do things, and they're not millionaires. They're not Iron Chef Sakai or whatever that guy does to throw all his money away at Phil. People have actual families with kids and lives and parents they have to take care of. You would think that Phil would understand that people have prior engagements, and he's doing this on Super Bowl Sunday where people are out with their friends or they're out busy doing things. And he thinks that the people that are there should be supporting, like everybody should be throwing money at him. I mean, we are talking about the same guy that tries to demand money before he even starts playing a game, paid before he provides the entertainment for people.
One $2 super chat and that was it, right? So here's the thing. I like trying variety of games. I do. I enjoy doing it. And you guys have asked me to try Monster Hunter again a third time. So I gave it a shot. But I have to play games that when I play them, people are going to show up, engage, and support. Some people are engaging with the content, and I was like, that's thank you.
Remember when he said he was getting to a point where he could finally play games that he wanted to play and he didn't have to worry about money? The time has passed and gone because he gave this game like an hour and was ready to call it quits on it because the money wasn't rolling in fast enough. But you have such a huge group of people who don't even want to give Phil the viewership they hate him so much. Like, people don't watch Phil for the genuine gameplay. They watch it for the crash outs because everything he does is an inevitable crash out, you know? There's a bunch of clips on this one. This is the end of the stream.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, it's a shame that for some bizarre reason, people won't support variety of games.
Variety streamer, though.
I love when there's people complaining, or not complaining, but saying in chat, trying to justify, oh, it's because the Super Bowl's today. You're literally sitting in my chat right now and not contributing.
That's Phil in a nutshell. So anyone who's in his chat has money in their pockets to just throw at Phil. As if he's not some guy streaming on a free platform like YouTube where there's no paywall to click on somebody's stream and watch it. But let me ask you, Phil, you talk about watching someone's videos here and there. When's the last time you threw a super thanks on somebody's video? Where's the last content creator you actually went supported? And I'm not talking about clicking on their video and watching an ad, because even the guy that you're yelling at in your channel had to click through ads to get to your video. So how is he not supporting you?
It's not that people didn't show up. It's that people don't support Monster Hunter. Do you get it? It was the same thing years ago. People will show up to say the game's boring, but they won't contribute to it. There's literally people here, but not contributing.
Why do they have to? They're watching a stream on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm pretty sure the Super Bowl was starting like right around this time if it hadn't already. And he's sitting here like, why aren't you contributing? And then giving this stupid little fucking laugh at the end to try to justify his actions.
Has nothing to do with it's the Super Bowl. It could be Christmas. It could be fucking New Year's. It could be, you know, Independence Day. It doesn't matter. There's people here. They don't contribute for the game.
But that's the problem is your business model relies on crowdfunding, but people aren't forced to crowdfund you to watch your content. And I tell you what, if they weren't contributing then, they probably ain't gonna now, because I would be like, fuck you, I'm out. I'm going to a detractor channel.
All right, guys. Well, break time. When I come back tonight, it is Street Fighter 6, Mai Shiranui.
Then he goes on this stream and he does casual matches until people are telling him to do ranked and ranked and ranked. And he wants people to pay for it. He said, hit the goal and we'll do ranked. You know? He's slimy. This is from the day before the marathon.
Yeah, I am disappointed with its performance. When people have asked me for ages to play indie games, I go out of my way to play indie games. I play the indie games and no one supports the indie games. It is disappointing. Now tonight, there is a literal reason to respond to support. I must say to respond to support, because tonight we want to hit the goals so we can do the marathon tomorrow.
Well, he wants $450 for a 2-hour stream so he can do a big marathon stream for everybody, a big celebration stream where he'll go on to beg for more money and demand $100 for a shot. Like, you could go out and buy a nice bottle of liquor for that $100 that you want to give this guy to take a shot on stream, just for him to say, well, let's get another shot. And then he gets another shot and he goes, well, let's get 2 more shots and I'll do them back to back. Like, it became a fundraiser. At no point was that a marathon. It was a fundraiser. There was no fun for anybody in that except for him. There was less gameplay than there was begging. This right here, him sitting in front of the camera, was half the marathon, plus some eating, you know? Like, there was less gameplay than I think I've ever seen on a DSP stream. For a viewer's choice, he clearly didn't want to play games that the viewers chose, right?
Knew Monster Hunter wasn't going to do great because I've played it twice before, but I gave it a shot anyway. And this time I'm like, you know, I think I learned my lesson, right? It's like they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But this is the third time. 3 strikes, you're out. People are not really engaged with Monster Hunter at this point. So I think that I'm not going to play it when it comes out, which sucks. You know, it's got a ginormous fan base worldwide, but what can I do if my viewers aren't into it? I can't make them be into it, right?
So number one, who's a dumbass for playing the third game when the first 2 didn't pull in any support, thinking that the third game would do any better? Well, you know, for a guy who's supposed to play new games when they come out, you did a really poor job at researching the game and looking up any sort of tutorial or understanding how to play the game. You go into games blind, you look dumb, and then complain about how the game is too complex for you and it's too much to wrap your head around. And number 2, then you go on and you blame your viewers. Like, he can't take any accountability for himself. He blamed his viewers for the game doing poorly because nobody donated enough. What can I say? My viewers don't like it. When is it ever your fault? When has it ever been your fault? When is anyone ever going to say it's your fault for doing the bare minimum, for not looking into games before you play them, for not understanding what you're walking into when you're looking at video games? For a guy who's a 16-year content creator surrounding video games and variety games, yet you do nothing to look into them, for a series that's been around forever, that play pretty similarly as a series. So if you've been around for a minute, you already know. MoistCr1tikal made a video a couple years ago about DSP. Let's take a look at the clip.
This is literally DSP, different than DSP. DSP's whole brand is about blatant e-begging. I still tune in pretty actively. What was his most recent meltdown? It was when he was playing Scorn. I think it was last week. But all DSP, like, his whole brand is just blatantly saying, you guys haven't given me enough money, so I don't even know if I'm going to bother playing this game anymore. You guys are lucky that I played the game for 2 hours. I got a lot of shit I got to do, and I still sat here for 2 hours, and I only made X amount of dollars from you guys. The lack of support was alarming. And now I can't even afford to buy a new game on Friday, talking about Gotham Knights. I can't even afford Gotham Knights now because you guys didn't donate enough.
All right, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm frustrated for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, because yeah, the game does suck. I really did not like tonight's stream. And in addition to that, as you guys can see, I stayed extra late for you guys, and basically it amounted to nothing. No one's really supported, which pisses me off. It does. Yeah, I'm playing a game. Obviously, it's frustrating. A lot of people showed up to watch it because you saw how frustrating it was, and no one supported. Yeah, that does upset me. Okay? It would have been one thing if I'm staying late and people are laughing, having a good time, and a few people are at least supporting the stream, but no one did. And that really upsets me.
It's funny that DSP started that whole thing off with, the game sucks. Like, he hated it too, so why would anyone support for a game they don't like? So let me get this straight. In DSP's mind, people need to support the game. But he's starting this whole rant off with, I didn't even like the game sucks, and he's mad that people didn't support it. And with his logic, people only support the game, so...
I'm going to hope that tomorrow when I finish it, there will be some support. Because it is pissing me off that I just stayed extra late and I got nothing for it. You know, the game's not even good.
Yeah, he just goes full mask
if
off.
This were me, I'm not even exaggerating. If this were me not streaming, playing this, I would have just turned the game right off and said, fuck this, I'm not playing this anymore. But the fact that I'm now 5 hours into it, obviously I want to finish it. You know, but I toughed it out for you guys tonight and I got nothing out of it.
He then goes on to say, like, he doesn't even know if he'll be able to afford Gotham Knights on Friday because no one has donated enough, and he's not sure if they'll donate enough tomorrow. But that's his whole brand now. People watch DSP for, like, the shit show of it. Like, if you type in Darkside Phil, for example, like, I'm going to test this. I'm not logged in on my main account here, so I guess we'll see. If you just type in Darkside Phil, like, the first channels you get, I imagine, are going to be, like, Bill Furnell, which is just the play off of his actual name. Just all these channels that make memes of him. But it's just, I don't know, it's not the same as, like, the Boogie situation, because this is just what he does. That is his whole brand. I still think DSP's biggest contribution to all of the internet is when he jerked off on stream, though. That shit is actually iconic. He not only jerked off, he blew a load and then immediately just started streaming. It was so fucking. That was like an actual top G maneuver. Unironically, that guy goes so hard for that.
So I believe this was a clip after it came out and started making its rounds around the internet. DSP changed things around a little bit. He kind of laid off the aggressiveness. I really don't think much has changed. In fact, I think it's genuinely worse now.
All right, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm frustrated for two reasons. Reason number one, because yeah, the game does suck. I really did not like tonight's stream. And in addition to that, as you guys can see, I stayed extra late for you guys, and basically it amounted to nothing. No one's really supported, which pisses me off. It does. That I'm playing a game. Obviously, it's frustrating. A lot of people showed up to watch it because you saw how frustrating it was, and no one supported. Yeah, that does upset me. Okay? It would have been one thing if I'm staying late and people are laughing, having a good time, and a few people are at least supporting the stream, but no one did. And that really upsets me. I'm going to hope that tomorrow when I finish it, there will be some support, because it is pissing me off that I just stayed extra late and I got nothing for it. You know, the game's not even good. You know, if this were me, I'm not even exaggerating. If this were me not streaming, playing this, I would have just turned the game right off and said, fuck this, I'm not playing this anymore. But the fact that
I'm calling it right now. We're going to have another one of these moments soon. He's already on track to do it. He's becoming very unhinged lately. He's saying some pretty wild things, but we're going to get another one of these soon. I don't know. He's unhinged, man. He's on this money high right now, and he's kind of getting to a point where I think he feels entitled to at least $150 every time he streams, even when it's for like 2 hours, you know? This man wants $75 an hour on the late stream, because, you know, DSP always makes the comparison to an hourly wage. But, yeah, I don't know, y'all. Just wanted to kind of bring up a few clips. Let's talk about it in the comments. I got my first super thanks last night. Thank you to Anjumo. I really appreciate that. I hope I said your name right. I just wanted to give you some recognition in this video. You didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate it. You know, I'm going to use the fill. You know, it helps me out. It'll help me out for this stream and get better stuff. I don't know. The other thing is, this weekend, I was thinking of possibly doing some streaming, maybe some video games or something. So, I mean, if that's something y'all want to tune into, I pretty much play everything. But I might stream this weekend. I don't know. I've been toying it the past few weeks, doing a live stream or something, or maybe like every Saturday night or every Friday night, doing some sort of live stream or something for a couple hours. Test the waters, you know. Just give you a little bit of different content, because I do want to talk about more lolcows, just more drama on the internet. I want to branch out a little bit, you know. I don't want to make all my content about DSP. I don't think he deserves that. But yeah, leave a comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate everybody if you made it this far. Peace.